Okay, so hello and thank you, Terry, for meeting me today.
You're welcome.
How are you doing?
Doing very well, thank you.
Awesome. So, Terry, I want to thank you again for being open to doing this interview, and I'm just going to ask you some questions. Is that okay?
Sure.
So, Terry, what was your pain situation before you started working with me?
Well, I was in pain all the time. I have a muscle spasm condition, which tightens with activity and limits my mobility, interrupts my sleep,
Mhm.
and depending upon what I am doing, the pain level will rise or fall. If
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sitting still, there's still pain there, but it's at a more manageable level. With activity, then it does get higher.
Yeah. So, how bad was the pain on a scale of 1 to 10 before?
Okay, it would usually hover around a 7, between 7 and 8. And then, of course, with certain activities like bending or doing housework, normal stuff, it would easily go to an 8. There were occasions with I would get a stabbing pain when the spasms would hit, and that would shoot to a 9 easily.
And when you say pain, where was the pain in your body?
Mostly in the back, low back, and then upper back, shoulders, and neck.
Okay. Yeah, you had a lot of pain.
The muscle spasm condition is throughout the body, from the neck on down.
And how long did you have that?
Years, over 20 years.
Okay. You've had that condition for over 20 years.
Yes.
And how often was the intensity of that pain?
Whenever I was doing certain activities, like I've got a front loading washing machine. So even bending down to put the clothes in there, the back would tighten.
Hmm.
And if I stayed bent over for more than just a few seconds, the muscles would spasm and I'd get the shooting pain.
Yeah. Yeah, housework can really take a toll on our body,
Yes.
human being, and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what did it stop you from doing?
Well, I don't scour pots. My husband takes care of that for me because that would send my back into spasm. Vacuuming, that puts the back in spasm. Even sweeping with a broom, if I do that for more than a few seconds, and I mean seconds, not just minutes, it pulls on the lower back and the twisting and that movement. It just locks up my back and the spasms start. So
Wow.
I was restricted with, activity. Lifting my grandchildren, I couldn't do from a standing position. I had to sit down and then lift them because that would throw my back into spasm immediately. And that's the pain that would spike up to a 9 very quickly.
Right, right. Um, so, and how did you feel emotionally about that pain?
Well, I accepted it. I knew it was something that I had to deal with. Frustrated, but not angry. It just part of life. You get injuries or you get hurt and you have to deal with it and work around it. So I'm a very accepting person.
But was there a part of you that felt desperate or felt like this was never, you were never going to get out of pain? Those days were gone for good?
Well, yeah, I just felt that it was something that I had to deal with. I was
Yeah,
in and out of, massage therapy and physical therapy, and they helped for short periods of time. But this was a lifelong condition that I had anticipated just dealing with.
yeah, yeah. Um, so when you decided, the very first time we had met,
Hmm.
I am assuming and guessing that you were very skeptical about working with me.
Well,
And
because it was
yeah,
something very different that I'd never heard of before.
yeah, yeah. And the first time you came in, we met. I was doing a meetup group, and you came with your friend.
Yes.
And I didn't, even though we were in the same room, I didn't touch you. I didn't touch your body. I didn't manipulate anything. And what were the results you experienced that first time?
Well, we did a tapping procedure,
Mm-hmm.
um, something I'd never heard of before. And I thought, well, geez, how can this help? But something new, something different, give it a try. And I
Yeah.
was surprised the relief of pain that I had in my back at the end of the session. The session was, a few minutes. Well, I don't remember. It didn't seem like a very long period of time, nor was it an instant period of time, but I was surprised that I had gotten that much relief that quickly.
Yeah. And so what would have stopped you from doing a program like this?
I guess just because it was brand new and I knew nothing about it, it didn't seem possible. It was so different from conventional knowledge for me.
Yeah.
And I know it's kind of limiting, judging everything by our own personal experience, but after 20 years of, different types of therapies and not getting long-term relief, it was, it's been sporadic. I just thought, okay, one more thing.
Yeah. Let's try one more thing, right?
Exactly. You never know.
Yeah. What were some of the things that you did try?
Physical therapy. I've had different types of therapists. Chiropractic, massage therapy. Let me see. I do use magnetic therapy. That has helped tremendously because the pain used to be even higher than that, and I was so restricted. I couldn't even lift a coffee cup with one hand before. What other things did I try? You name it, I've tried it. I've had Reiki. And I have had some relief with all of those because I do tend to respond to natural therapies. Yeah. Medication I do not do well with, and I prefer not to do any medicine. I'd rather do things naturally if I can and allow my body to heal.
Yeah. Yeah. And so how did you start to notice that things were changing? What were some of the signs that made you aware of that?
The restrictions were gone. I could reach things on the top shelf again. I used to have to call my husband into the kitchen all the time. And then there are times when I start tightening up again. It's like, okay, time to get back to Jackie. Loosen up that back of mine. I was able to do several loads of laundry in a day instead of only one without the back going into spasm. I'll get little warning signs now of a little soreness, and I'll stop, whereas before there was no warning, there was suddenly spasm and shooting pain.
Yeah.
So there's been a big difference for me.
Yeah. So what was it like that first day that you actually reached up to the countertop? And
oh, yeah, just, go to reach to get something off the top shelf, and it's like, oh, my God, I can reach. I can get it. Because I first went to reach, and I quickly pulled my hand back down and just stood there and waited. Waited for the pain to hit, and it didn't. It's like, oh, I can do this again.
Nice. Yeah. And you've been having amazing results since then. So what is your life like now?
Oh, much better. I can play with my grandchildren all day long. No restrictions, which is wonderful, especially since they're bigger and heavier now too, and I can still lift them without problems. Yeah. I can get more housework done in a day. I don't have to stop constantly to lie down and rest my back. Just better quality. I'm able to go out dancing with my friends all night long. It's wonderful.
Yes. Nice. Yeah, because the last time you came in, you looked 20 years younger from the first time you came in my doors.
Thank you.
And you had mentioned that you were on vacation with your family. And what were the changes this vacation compared to other vacations?
Usually I cannot walk around for any length of time without the magnetic back brace and without the magnetic insoles in my shoes. Without pain sharp stabbing pain. Yeah. This time we were in a resort where everything was concrete, walking around in, your bathing suits, your cover up, and your sandals on. And I was able to do that all day without the stabbing pain, without the muscle spasms, which shocked the heck out of me because that was not possible before. So
Yeah.
it's wonderful. My body is healing on many different levels now. It's fantastic.
Yeah. And what's the ripple effect of you not being in pain?
I'm a lot happier. I'm even sleeping better. I'm able to stay more focused, get things done. I still have a lot of work to do in the house because years have built up
Yes.
that I'm able to get to now. You know, little by little, I'll get through all of it, which is wonderful. I don't feel overwhelmed by the task anymore.
Mm.
I know that I can do it, and I will. I see a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah. So, what would you say to somebody who is thinking about doing this program now?
Oh, I would say don't hesitate, because the techniques you use are very different than anything else that's out there, and it targets the area and you get to the cause of the problem. Not just relieving symptoms, but actually affecting the area and what is causing the trauma in the body. It's wonderful. It truly is. And anyone else who has been in pain can understand the relief you feel when that pain is gone. And it's just, you're not carrying around that weight on your body anymore. You feel light and airy and young again. It's wonderful. It truly is.
Well, I'm so happy for all the results and for how your life is shifting and you get to have fun with your grandchildren.
That's the best part for me.
Yeah, to go on a family vacation and to be yourself without worrying about how your pain is going to affect it.
Yes. Yep, it's fantastic. Thank you very much, because it's very different now. My whole body is different, my demeanor, my outlook. So even my friends are saying, yeah, same thing that you said, you look younger. I said, well, I'm not grimaced in pain anymore. It shows in my face and I didn't realize it, you know, because I don't see it, but other people do in the face. I mean, I feel it in my body, but it's a wonderful thing. It's a different place that I was not used to, but happy that I'm here again.
Mm-hmm. And now, how does your future look?
Oh, a whole lot better than I thought it was going to be. Because it's, you know, when you're in that type of condition before, natural progression is that it will continue to get worse. We naturally age and things start to stiffen up and tighten up, and then to have that illness as well. I'm very happy that it is at bay, it is under control, and it's not advancing, which is wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, that is quite a myth. There's many people who, as we age, say, well, I'm just aging, so of course I'm going to have pain and I'm going not to be able to do the things I used to do. Mm-hmm. What do you think of those people?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear your last question.
What do you say to those people who are living in pain and their excuse is that I'm getting older, so of course I'm going to be in pain?
I tell them they don't have to be in that level of pain anymore. There are techniques out there. There is a therapy that can help them. And I give them your name and phone number. There's no reason to accept that level of deterioration anymore. We have the knowledge, the science, and the techniques now to help us. And it should be widespread information.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Terry, for being with me today. And I'm so happy for your progress. And I look forward to all the things you get to do now.
Thank you, Jackie. Look forward to seeing you again soon.
All right. You have a great day.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.